Hi there, welcome back. How are you today? So continuing on with you can change your past. I don't know why I've chosen this one today. I just feel like going through it again. It's been a while since I've been through it. And as we move forward, we begin to see things so differently. Today I wanted to share chapter 1, Separation is Complete. I know what you are thinking right now, but the past can't be changed. It has already happened. That's the title of the book. You can change your past and set yourself free. So, I know what you're thinking right now, but the past can't be changed. It has already happened. The events have already affected my entire life, and you're correct. The events cannot be changed. In fact, the events were never the issue. How we interpreted those events is what has us caught in a loop. You see, when we are born, we are the love, we are the light, pure and innocent. We know nothing of this world. Everything we know today, we learned from our environment. Think about it. Why do you have the judgments that you have? You weren't born with them. Why do you think that certain things are bad? Why do you think that certain things are wrong? Where did these beliefs come from? I challenge you to write down the things that you believe in and question where that belief came from. I love that chapter. And a lot of Covered in Yucky Mucky Mud. It's about challenging those beliefs, because the moment you start to look at beliefs and why that belief is in place, things start to shift a little bit. Why is that belief there? Why do you believe that? You know, in a few videos ago, a belief came up in a comment that spiritual people should not be charging money for their services. And so much since that comment. I am so grateful for that comment, because since that comment, so much has been coming up around money and spiritual gifts. Because I know so many of you out there are sitting there with these beautiful spiritual gifts, and you don't know how to move forward because this is one of the things that is holding you back. How can you sustain yourself? How can you make a living out of your beautiful spiritual gifts? There are so many beliefs in place that stop us from creating a living with the beautiful spiritual gifts that we've been given. Now, if you stop to think, Source is unconditional love. Spirit, God, whatever it is that you want to call that higher power. It's unconditional love. And this higher power has given you these beautiful spiritual gifts to share with this world. But at the same time, you have your own needs. You have to put food on the table. You have to pay for electricity bills and water bills and everything to sustain your life moving forward. Now, in your heart, close your eyes right now. I'm going to ask you a question. So close your eyes, take a deep breath in and release. And as you release, just let go of everything right now. Let go of everything. There's nowhere to be and there is nothing to do but to be here, present in this moment. My question to you is, if Spirit gave you these beautiful spiritual gifts to share with the world, why would Spirit not want you to thrive in this world with these spiritual gifts? Remember that Spirit is unconditional love, love without conditions. Why would Spirit give you these spiritual gifts and not want you to be abundant? This is the question. You may open your eyes now. Welcome back. So what answer did you get? Let me know in the comments. What does Spirit say? Do you think Spirit would give you these gifts and want you to struggle? Working part-time jobs to make ends meet and giving your spiritual gifts away for free just because they were given to you? Everyone within them has spiritual gifts. But until they awaken, they can't get in touch with those gifts. As long as a person is engrossed in their human experience, completely engrossed in their separate I, their ego, feeling that they're a victim, feeling that this world, that everything is happening to them, that this world is against them. As long as they stay trapped in that experience, they can't tap into their spiritual gifts. They haven't begun to awaken spiritually yet. But within all of us, we have spiritual gifts. Each and every one of us comes with spiritual gifts. We are spirit. So stop to think about that for a moment. If you have clairaudience, if you are clairsentient, clairvoyant, any of those things where you can hear Spirit and Spirit guides directly, where you can see them, where you can sense them, these gifts have been given to you that you may use them freely as you will. It's up to you how you use them. But doesn't it make sense to use these gifts to serve others, where you can serve many others? And if you spend your day and all your energy just on that, and your energy is free to work with these beautiful gifts, and you allow yourself to receive payment for your beautiful gifts, then your life flows. You allow the abundance to flow. You allow the flow in your life. It's always up to you. It's up to you and your beliefs. You know, what I was remembering this morning, yesterday I had a beautiful piano concert with all my students. There were 21 students. Took an hour and a half to get through all of them. But I've been doing the piano lessons now for 30 years and I love doing them. I love doing them. I love watching the student go from not being able to play something to getting to the end of that piece and then looking at me with that, I can do this now. I can play this. You know, that confidence, that excitement of I've accomplished this, you know, I've overcome all the obstacles along the way and now I can do it and it sounds amazing, you know. I love that. I love going through the whole process of watching them struggle, thinking, oh, I'm never going to get this. Because I've seen it time and time again. You know, you just got to get through all those obstacles to get to that beautiful result at the end. But you'll get there as long as you don't give up, you will get there. But for me, when I came to Australia, talking about degrees, I finished my studies overseas in South America. So when I came to Australia, I talked to the Australian Music Examination Board that works with the Music Conservatorium here in New South Wales, in Sydney. And I asked them, what do I have to do to, put students through to do exams? And it turns out I didn't have to do anything with them. I didn't have to have a particular title or degree or anything. All you do is just sign them up. And then you pay the fee for the exam. They don't care. As long as you're paying for the exams, you're paying for the fee and you're giving them work, they don't care, But for me here, because I didn't have the degree with the Music Conservatorium or with the AMEB, the Australian Music Examination Board, in the early days, I used to undercharge quite heavily. I used to go to the homes. When I first started, I used to teach in the students' homes. So I would get in my car and go to all the different homes. Once the students signed up, once I did all the advertising and they knew that I existed, they signed up and I would go once a week to their home for half an hour, do their lesson. But because I didn't have that degree, I didn't have that diploma here in Australia, mine was from overseas and I knew the whole system overseas, but I wasn't familiar with the system here. I had to learn it as I went. And so for a really long time, I was charging less than most piano teachers that were already established here. And I thought, okay, that's fine. I was comfortable with that. I was comfortable with undercharging because I was learning how the system worked. But 10 years later, those fees had hardly moved. And I already had 10 years of experience of doing exams. And you know what the funny thing is? That even if I went and even if I did the degree and put the title on the wall and all the rest of it, I had such an issue with charging more for my beautiful lessons. The first excuse I always had was, if I increase the prices, the parents will drop out. They'll take their students somewhere else where it's cheaper. That was my first excuse why I couldn't increase the prices. The second excuse for why I couldn't increase my prices as a piano teacher was because, I want to keep the prices low so that low-income families can have this opportunity, that their children can come and learn. I didn't want it to be just for people that were wealthy or well off. I wanted everyone to have access to it. That was my second excuse of why I couldn't increase the prices. And I was heavily undercharging compared to all the other piano teachers in the area. And this year was the first year I talked to the people at after school care at the school where I teach now. And I said to one of the ladies there, do you think if I increase the price by $5 that the parents will be okay with that? And she said to me, you should have done that many, many years ago. She said, why are you still charging these prices? So I sent an email to the parents and I asked them, I said, look, this is what I'm thinking of doing. I want to increase the prices because everything else in the last 30 years has increased. We're not paying the same price for milk that we did 30 years ago. We're not paying the same price for bread that we did 30 years ago. It makes sense that if everything around you is increasing in price, the price I have to pay to get a new car now is not the same as it was 10 or 20 years ago. My car's 15 years old now. What I paid 15 years ago is not the same as what I'm going to have to pay when that one finally decides it's had enough. It's going to be a lot more. Things increase. Therefore, our wages, our pay should increase. But what I wanted to bring through with this story is that it's the same energy as what we are doing with our spiritual gifts. We feel that we're not worthy of charging. We're not worthy of charging more. For those of us who are already charging, but I know some who are charging that are heavily undercharging. And yet we struggle to pay our electricity bills, we struggle to pay our water bills because we're not worthy of charging more, even though all of that is increasing. The electricity bills increases every year, the water bills increase every year. Everything goes up and up and up. So our fees, what we charge, should go up accordingly. I'm not saying ridiculously, but we need to keep up with everything that's going up. But it's on us. It's how we feel about getting paid. It's not just about the spiritual gifts. How many of you would be terrified of going in and asking for a raise? You can't ask for a raise for the work that you do. I know for me, where I met my husband all those years ago, and we were doing office work, there was no way I would go in and ask for a raise. No way. And I used to work overtime all the time, and we never got paid for overtime in those days. We had our 9-to-5 job, and that was it. There was no overtime. But I would stay back. I would stay back for the time that I spent eating lunch. There's half an hour. I would stay back and give them back that half an hour, even though that half an hour is part of the 9-to-5 day. I always felt that I had to give more. Always more. Even though the lunch hour is part of your day, it's compulsory for your employer to give you that. It's compulsory for you to have a break, a tea break somewhere in the middle before lunch. You are entitled to these breaks. Here in Australia, I don't know anywhere else, but here, this is what work looks like. And yet in my mind, I thought, oh, I took half an hour for lunch. I need to give them back that half an hour with work. But this is us. It is us. We need to look at our beliefs around our worthiness in receiving money for our work. We're looking at it, oh, it's spiritual gifts. These are gifts that are given to us, but everyone has them. It's our choice whether we use them or not. Not everyone uses their spiritual gifts. Some are scared to use their gifts. Some are scared of their gifts, let alone want to use them to help anyone. So we need to get our heads thinking differently. We are serving others. We are giving value to others with our work. And it is one of the most beautiful works in the world. Because so much work I look at, like when I was working in an office where I met my husband, we were making one person rich. He was already quite wealthy. We were making him more wealthy with the work that we were doing. But we were just really serving one person in gaining more wealth. As spiritual healers, or whatever it is that you want to call yourself, as light workers, as whatever it is, we're not here to create wealth for ourselves. Yes, we can if we want to, if it's part of the deal, fine. But as spiritual beings, we are here to serve, to add value. And that is just a byproduct. It's an exchange for our services, for what we give to others. So I'd like you to sit with that. If you have these beautiful spiritual gifts that you can give to others, what's holding you back from making a living out of that? You can support your family with that. Your family needs to eat. Your family has its needs. What is holding you back? What is truly holding you back? Because as I was thinking of all these years teaching piano and not being able to raise my prices because people would go away. they would leave. And all these years that I've been working with this student would be lost. And what I have learnt most of the time is that they don't leave, because they know that I go above and beyond with my lessons, like I did with my work before. I always give more than what I'm asking for, always. More value, more. All right, my beautiful beings. So look into your heart today, because it is you and your beliefs that is blocking the flow from you using your beautiful spiritual gifts and making a living. From these beautiful spiritual gifts that you've been given. All right, my darlings. I love you guys. Remember to click like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the messages. And I'll see you in the next video, okay? Bye for now.